This is the Throttle Out Show, presented by Vixen Industries, the only show where monster truck drivers and mechanics come together to present what's happening in the monster truck community. It's the ultimate combination of torque, horsepower, and trash talk. And now for your host. First, straight out of the heart of Detroit Rock City, it's Kid Rock's neighbor and former driver of the VKT ride truck. It's Austin Spence. And the duo deep in the heart of Texas, it's the show owner and daughter of a man who conquered the industry for over 20 years. It's Harley Johnson, along with everyone's favorite Bryce Kenny lookalike, Austin Tweedy. So go ahead, fuel up, strap in, and remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Good evening, beautiful people. It is August 22nd, 2021, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You know that means it's time for your favorite monster truck talk show, the Throttle Out Show. Remember, when in doubt, throttle out. What's going on, everybody? My name is Austin K. Tweedy, joined by the lovely Miss Harley Johnson and Austin Spence, what is going on with your background tonight, my man?
Yeah, what's going on?
So I kind of want to take this opportunity. Mr. Bernard Light, could you please remove your truck from the facility, please?
Oh, he went there. Burn!
I literally typed in building damage on Google Images, and I'm surprised Bernard wasn't the first thing that came up. But
oh, son, that just ain't right. Well, y'all, we had a lot happen this past weekend. There's a lot to discuss tonight. I don't even know where to start first. If we're being completely honest, we want to kind of do the highlights. We want to do the recap and then talk about all the good stuff that's happening after that.
I mean, we could. I mean, do you want to talk about Monster Jam first, Spence, to get it out of the way first, then we can focus on the other stuff?
We know how much you love Monster Jam arena shows.
Yeah, we know how much you love the arena shows.
I don't. I hate. That's why I'm drinking tonight, guys, because I knew this was going to be another arena recap.
I think Spence loves Monster Jam arenas as much as I love Bakugan Dragonoid, for being completely honest here.
Oh my gosh. Can we just talk about how Mr. Todd LeDuc got called out? It looked by his own crew guy this weekend on the big screen.
What do you mean?
Well, there's some images going around where some people were putting signs up behind the drivers, and it said Todd LeDuc loves unicorns. So I thought that was adorable, and I guess Tyler Meniga is afraid when you clap for him, or Brianna Mahan's afraid of the dark. So the crew guy, whoever was behind that, I love you guys for it. We need more of that.
Yeah, great. Absolutely, definitely need more of that.
All their deepest, darkest secrets are coming out on the big screen.
For Todd, just doesn't actually like energy drinks.
There we go.
Likes diet water.
Diet water. Well, what should we start with tonight, guys?
Start with one of the MJ shows. Start with this one right here. I don't know which one that is, Harley. You just go ahead and play it.
This would be the Fresno show that my dad was at this past weekend.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull the results up real quick.
I guess that's Brandon Vincent and Gravedigger. He basically just dominated the show this weekend,
dominated the show this weekend. For show one, Brandon Vincent took racing, skills, donuts, and overall. And then we had Armando take the freestyle win for show one. And show two, again, Brandon Vincent taking racing, skills, and overall. But we had Brittany and Zombie take the donut and freestyle win. And then the third show, Brandon Vincent took everything, clean sweep. And they had another show. I don't have the results for that show just because they came at a later time, but I'm sure people in the comments will probably help us out with the results.
Clean video footage right here. This is awesome. But yeah, it was basically Brandon Vincent's weekend out there. Now, Alien Invasion was at the show. Spence, go ahead, talk about what happened with Alien Invasion out there.
So
the clip where something happens again.
Yeah, someone has a clip of what happens. Now, this is honestly, I feel bad for Bernard because this was the second time that there's been building damage with Bernard behind the wheel. However, I think both times, I'd have to argue that the first time you could argue it could or couldn't be preventable with the somersault into the building.
Here it is.
But this right here, for those of you that cannot see what exactly is going on, it looked like the planetary may have locked up in the right front for Alien Invasion. Now, when a planetary locks up and you're still under throttle, that wheel or tire that's locked up in the front If you give it gas, guess what? All three of those other wheels that still have power are going to push towards where the lockup is. So I don't think Bernard really had anything that he could have done to prevent that. But in the same sense, if he knew that the wheel is locked up because you could literally see the tires through the Lexan, and if you're looking, it's like, oh, my right front is not moving. Here, let me give it some gas. Nah, it's like that's not one of those things that it's like, oh, I'll fix this by giving it more throttle. No, you just broke more parts and did more shit for your crew guys. But regardless, it looked like it was a minor bump in the wall, but Feld's gonna give him a slap on the wrist. Hey, don't do that again. But regardless, this is the second time already with the same truck, same driver that there's building damage.
2 weekends in a row, something happens.
Yeah, like that's not good. That's not good at all.
I mean, honestly, I could see Feld still being really upset about this and benching him for 2 weekends in a row. I could also see them being realistic and understanding the situation. Man, look, that was out of your control.
Yeah.
You had no idea that thing was locked up. Yeah, you might be able to see through the floorboard, but at the same time, that thing's just gonna, do what it wants to, before it's too late. So I can see it either way. What do y'all think down there in the comment section? You think Feld Entertainment's going to pull Bernard again out of his seat? You think they're going to let this one slide? I don't know.
Oh, he didn't even run in today's show.
Oh,
there you go.
Was that kind of like you hit the wall, you can't run in today's show? That's why you couldn't run?
I don't know. I mean, because they had Dustin Brown suit up for the last one, which we all know that, there's people who are behind the scenes that are in charge of everything that's going on. And Dustin's sometimes that one person. So him being there at the right time, probably it's like, well, throw Bernard out, throw Dustin in, run it. They probably just didn't have a backup driver, and that's why they benched, Alien Invasion. But here's what I also heard. Alien Invasion wasn't the only one that nicked the wall this weekend either.
Really?
Yeah. From what I heard, I actually just got off a Discord chat with the BeamNG devs, and as we were talking about events that went this weekend, Jack Brown and FTI Torque actually nicked the wall as well and was disqualified from moving into the next round.
Yeah, so I guess Jack Brown's in that Dodge pickup truck back there behind you with Bernard Light.
I guess so. Yeah, they're just both having a party. Too much Ram, not enough Dodge.
Man, that is just a flipping bummer especially for Bernard Light. I had no idea that he didn't run today. That's awful.
Yeah,
poor guy.
I didn't know he didn't run either.
Totally out of his control and just.
Well, speaking of Jack Brown, you just want to go into the Milwaukee show then?
Sure, why not?
All right. So for show one, we had Tyler and Gravedigger take racing skills and overall. And then we had Lindsay Reed take home the donuts win, and Todd took the freestyle win in show one. And then show two, we had Cole Bernard and Black Pearl take the racing win, and Tyler Menninga took the skills win. Jack Brown took the donut win, and then Zach in Wildside took home the freestyle and overall win. And the third show, Zach took home the racing win, and then Tyler Menninga took home the rest of the wins for show three. And I think there was another show. I'm not sure. I don't have the results for that fourth one, if there was one.
Now, this is actually a very special weekend for a very specific person, someone who's actually fairly close to me, and that would be Mr. Taylor Andes and Jim Customs, because two trucks that this kid actually designed were actually at this show, and that is FTI Torque and Wildside. So seeing them kind of going up against each other, two creations that he got to make, kind of a proud moment for little Taylor. But unfortunately, it looks like more and more pieces of Wildside just kept falling off as the weekend went on. Not sure what that's all about.
Well, that is pretty sweet. I didn't realize he had a hand in both of those trucks that were there. I knew for Wildside, but not about it. You said it was FTI Torque, is that right?
Yeah. Yep, FTI Torque. Because for a while, I think it was just a black truck with with just the logo and everything on the side, and then they wanted someone to come up with a really cool design. And he definitely delivered. I really like the blue, white, red, and stripes kind of theme he got going on. It's simple, it's to the point, but honestly, it looks really, really damn good. So, honestly, can't wait to see what other trucks he's probably got up his sleeve, honestly.
Well, way to go, Taylor. And thank you so much for helping us out, getting our graphics for our shirts, for the 88 mile an hour shirt. We also got something very special in the works. I don't know if we're going to announce it or release it before the next quarter, if we're going to do it here fairly soon, but it is a I don't know if it'll top the 88 mile an hour one or not. I love it, though. It might be my new favorite design. It came
out really good. I think a lot of you guys are going to like it.
Can't wait for y'all to see what he come up with. Now, before we get, there's a question or a comment down there in the comment section I don't want to get to it just yet. Let's get this next MJ recap out of the way, and then we can get to it, Harley. So
Okay.
go ahead to this last MJ.
Monster Jam Arena, then we can move on. In Hartford, Connecticut, show 1, we had Kristen Anderson take home the racing and donuts win. And then we had Elvis and Mohawk Warrior take skills, freestyle, and overall.
Wow.
And then show 2, we had Elvis and Mohawk Warrior take the racing win. Kristen took home skills, donuts, and overall. And then we had Nick and Kraken take home the freestyle win for show 2.
Oh, boy, Nick.
And then they did have a show 3, but it was canceled due to weather in the area. I believe there was a tornado in the area, so they had to cancel the show.
Wasn't it a hurricane?
I don't know.
It was a hurricane.
It was a tornado and then a hurricane, so I don't know which one it was.
Gotcha. Okay, so show 3 canceled. But way to go, Nick Pag. Just out there getting better. Oh, see some damn flame shooting out of that. Oh, my word. Whoa.
Don't let the ghost out. Don't do it.
Woo! Way to go, Nick. Just representing Team Tom Flory. All right. I think it's time we get to this comment down here. Mike Minter put up a comment just a few minutes ago. Now, if you don't know this, already know this about our show, we refuse to talk about politics on the show, so we're not going to get into politics per se. Okay. But with this, comment from Mike Minter, rumor is MJ is requiring the vaccine to compete. Any thoughts or insight on this? Yes, we have heard that as well. That should be coming up very soon. Without getting into politics, Spence, Harley, how does that affect the Monster Jam personnel side of things? All these crew guys, all these drivers, there's going to be so many guys, so many females who were upset at this mandate. There's going to be a lot of people who are like, well, I mean, it's part of the job.
I think there's just going to be more people than you think probably won't be with Monster Jam anymore just because of this mandate that they're going to put in. So,
because there is a lot of people. Yeah, like there's a lot of people who really don't feel comfortable getting vaccinated. And here's the thing. It is your choice to do whatever you want with your body. And I understand, everything that's going on. It's a vaccine. Some people don't trust it. Some people do trust it. It is your body. It is your choice. That is my honest opinion. Whatever you think is right, you do you. But Monster Jam sitting there saying, no, you have to do this regardless in order to compete. I think it's going to hurt them. And
I think it's going to hurt them. But this is my question. So how does this apply to the drivers who have these contracts? Okay, that they're still stapled down for a year or two. Or I don't know if anybody's recently renewed their contract for another, 3 to 4 years or whatnot. Now, how does that affect these guys who have these contracts? They refuse to get the vaccine. Is Monster Jam's going to be like, all right, well, we're basically done with you. You can go sit at home and still get paid because they still have to pay these guys. Or if they let go of them, they got to buy out the rest of their contract.
I think if the drivers say no to the vaccine, I think Monster Jam won't have a choice but to make them sit out because they are very strict on everyone getting the vaccine.
You could potentially be seeing some drivers who are getting ready to renew their contract, and Monster Jam's going to slide that in their contract and, try to get these drivers and say, yeah, if you don't comply with this, you ain't going to be re-signing.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. And honestly, that's why I've been enjoying these outdoor shows because it's relaxed, it's outdoors, it's spaced out, and Monster Jam is close quarters. And I'm sorry, but Monster Jam can't be really doing all that great considering they really haven't had a ton of shows where it was full capacity. I mean, you can't be it's like if they're going to be forcing their competitors, let's say, when do you think they're going to start forcing fans and people that you have to provide proof that you're vaccinated or not sick, kind of like what they did in California?
Some cities are already requiring that you have to be vaccinated to even go to any event in the city. So I think that's why Monster Jam's probably pushing it more just because so they are able to go to more cities that are mandating it.
I got to agree with Jimmy's comment here. It's bad enough that they force teams into buying BKTs, let alone trying to dictate what someone does with their body. Definitely crosses the line 100%.
Jimmy C coming in clutch once again with these comments. But, I mean, you're exactly right. You want guys to go out and get BKTs. You want them to provide, their own, special equipment, for these shows. Now they're telling them how to, worry about their own physical health and their own well-being. It's just, I don't know. It's really odd. I don't like it. I don't like being forced, being told what to do with my body. We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to say the vaccine's good or bad. We're not talking about that tonight. We're just saying this could potentially shape the near future of Monster Jam. I could see a lot of crew guys having a big problem with this, refusing to get it, either leaving or getting fired for such. and the same thing with drivers as well. So who knows the future of MJ? I think it's time to stop talking about MJ for a second. Let's get into the
Thank God.
What happened with some independent shows. Harley, we could probably go ahead. Let's get started with the Zimmer boys down here.
Okay.
Let's get started with that right here. It's just a quick clip. We've got a John Zimmer Sr. and Jr. racing each other in the final round of racing. You can see Zimmer Jr.'s coming around the corner. Terminal velocity hits that turn tire and doesn't get all four wheels on the final ramp, which means Zimmer Sr. gets the victory for that race. But what a cool race, Austin, to be able to race your son and the son race his dad. That's a very special moment for these guys.
It definitely is, but being the kid, always wanting to go out there and knock pops around. He's got to be beating himself up because you could clearly see he had this race won.
Oh yeah,
until he cut the corners a little bit too close, goes over the turn tire, misses the jump, and completely just kind of gives the race to his old man. And I honestly think coming up to that jump, I think Big Zimmer kind of saw that coming. So hopefully he'll get him next time. I believe Lil Zim will get him next time for sure.
That's not the first time that race has happened, Harley, but
No.
I mean, it definitely won't be the last time either.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, no. No, absolutely not. So, what else we got? I know there's quite a few independent shows this weekend. Unfortunately, I haven't had the best of service, as you guys probably could tell from our last show, kind of all the way up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
It was okay.
I was. I had a lot of fun. I saw a couple of people in the comments asking where's the Magic Mini Mic. It's in here. I think I'm going to start calling it the Magic Mini Mic, which makes sense because if you guys remember my story with Channing Tatum. But I got the mini mic right here. It's just not plugged in. I'm going to use it in the future. Don't you worry. It's not going anywhere. But I love that you guys enjoyed that part of our show.
Go ahead, go to this video right here. I believe that's the video of Outlaw running a quick freestyle. I'm sorry that the video is real small. I didn't have a chance to mess with that. But Preston Collins sent me this. I believe he works for either Michael Harper directly, another independent team that runs with the Harper crew. Sent me this. They're up in Hugo, Oklahoma this past weekend, not too terribly far away from where we're at here at the studio in Rockwell, Texas. But these Harper shows, Spence, I don't know if they're just getting more popular. People are finally catching on to, hey, these shows are actually badass. This truck that goes out, Spence, is basically like an independent maximum destruction chassis, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. I mean, essentially, that's Mike Harper's personal truck, and it is set up like an old school Willman. His front engine, it's honestly almost cookie cutter, pretty damn close to what Tom Mintz runs in his personal trucks. I even think he's running ZF axles in that thing, if I'm not mistaken, because that truck is, other than you can tell it's obviously getting hot, just spewing coolant and smoke everywhere, but he runs that truck hard and he's not afraid to show it. I think he actually ran in a Monster Jam show only a few times.
Yeah.
And I think they had to tell him to take it easy because he was outperforming some of the company drivers. Go figure. But honestly, I'm jealous that you guys get to go check out some of these type of shows because I would love to see a Monster War show somewhere close to me.
This guy just happens to be somewhere in the Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico area almost every weekend, it seems like. I don't know if he's, from around here or whatnot, but I think the weekend of September 11th, he's supposed to be having a show here at the Mesquite Arena. And I would really like to go check that show out. We were going to go up to the Toughest Monster Truck show up in Oklahoma that weekend, but I think we're going to go ahead and migrate over here just down the road. We'll check out this Mesquite show and hang out with Preston Collins and the crew down there. So we got another clip to show, I believe, from the Toughest Monster Truck show up there in Lamar, Missouri.
Yes, I couldn't find a ton of footage, so I only have 2 clips from this show. But I want you guys to watch this clip of racing and tell me what you think about how the racetrack.
Put the audio on for racing. Yeah,
boy. All right, I'm in love.
That was badass.
They called it a Z style race course. I'm like, wow, I like it.
I dig that. I dig that so much. See, I've only seen Toughest do arena style shows. I've never seen them do something like that. That is awesome.
Yeah, that was a sweet tour. And then that next clip there was of Mike Christensen Vendetta.
They were in, would I pronounce that, Lamar?
Yeah, Lamar.
Lamar, Missouri. The Friday night show, Buckshot took home the skills, racing, and overall win. And then I think Twisted Addiction took home the freestyle win. They didn't really confirm that, but they just like said he put on like an awesome freestyle. And then Saturday night, Vendetta, Mike Christensen took home skills, racing, and overall. And then Paul Jensen and Jurassic Attack took home the freestyle win.
boy,
And
Paul.
then I do have a clip of Mikey doing
Badass sky wheelie.
Yep, some wheelies. It was really hard to find any footage on this show for some reason. This is the only clip I could find.
Hey, it looks like there's plenty of people in the seats, and that's what matters.
Absolutely. Now, I did mention that I was on a call with some of the guys that develop and mod for the BeamNG mod. I did hear a rumor. I'm not going to confirm this, but I did hear a rumor that if anybody here is into the simulation monster truck, the video game stuff, someone is actually working on this track already and recreating it. So if you have a computer or something able to handle that, you'll actually be able to drive on this track, hopefully relatively soon. The guys on the Beam Monster community does awesome work.
And then one last clip we got for y'all in the independent world was the Renegade Monster Truck Tour, right?
Yes. This was in, where was it at? How would you pronounce that?
That, Gaithersburg?
Gaithersburg, Montgomery County Fair is where this show was at. And I couldn't put any results on it.
Man, I get my balls beaten around because I can't pronounce some of these most complicated names, but you guys can't figure out how to say Gaithersburg.
No, dude, and you still have no room to talk, so I don't want to hear it.
Just wait for Wednesday when you have to list off all the shows that are happening next weekend.
Hey, Demente, what's up, baby?
Hey, Timmy! Oh man, I gotta say, I'm really mad that I haven't been able to go to a Renegade show. I know Zane can be a tough guy to deal with as far as like crewing and stuff, but the product he's putting out is top notch. It's really, really awesome.
I think what pumps me up though is you see these tours like Renegade, like Toughest, Jimmy Cretan's tours, the Harper shows. Not only are these guys, and I'm all the All-Star tours, not only are these guys putting on just monster truck shows in general, however, they're all selling out or getting close to selling out. And in turn, the shows are great. Like monster trucks, from taking a huge hiatus last year and everybody, being hurt, teams hurting, we're making such a comeback right now. And it is so relieving, so refreshing to see this, especially in the independent world, not just Monster Jam, but independent monster trucks, especially.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really cool to see old Tim Mente getting behind the wheel. I know he does it on occasion, but it's really nice seeing Tim Mente get behind the wheel in this caliber of a show. Like old man is not afraid to send it at all.
Hell no, man. Tim Mente is such a good guy. I got to hang out with him for just a week. He actually drove for Dave Ridzier's for the very first show in Toronto, Canada, Monster Jam first quarter 2018. He drove that first show. And I don't know, I learned so much from him in just a matter of a couple of days, honestly. It's really the only time I got to spend with him, teaching me how to check lockers, teaching me how to check for, when this truck's taking off, what I'm looking for. And I mean, just such very, very sharp guy, runs a great business, not only in the monster truck world, but with his tree trimming business as well. What a good guy. We are blessed to have him in the monster truck world. Now, let's talk about all the juicy stuff that's going on in the monster truck world.
What would you like to talk about?
Well, I want Spence to go ahead and break this one in because Spence found out that Mike Wine is returning. Is that right?
Yeah, Mike Wine is returning to the driver's seat in Bootlegger this weekend in Hudsonville, Michigan. I can't freaking wait.
So you're going to go to the show?
Oh, without a freaking doubt. Of course I'm going to go see Mike Wine drive. I haven't seen Mike Wine drive a truck since, I believe, when he was driving Backwards Bob, so quite a few years ago. But seeing him, I want to know what happened to where he's got to jump in Bootlegger. So there might be a story behind that. But regardless, I'm excited to see him get behind the wheel again. I mean, if there's anybody that's great at trash talking.
Blowing up our social medias about Mike Wine, right, this weekend.
I know, right? Got to. But I got to say, if there's anybody that's great as far as talking trash, it's Mike Wine. And I love it. Like one of my favorite episodes, like Tweety, you remember you and I would actually drive back and forth to work. We actually listened to our friends over at the Crush This podcast. And we listened to the Mike Wine stories. And some of the things that this guy would talk about was just off the wall. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. What a legend in the sport. I mean, I'll be excited to see how that show wraps up this week in Michigan. I'm glad that, to hear that you're going to go to that. Now, something else that I also want to talk about, if you want to go back to the brand page, Harley. Whoa, there's a dog. Whoa, where's the dog come from?
Hello, doggy.
That would be out there. I'm sorry. perks of being back home is there's stupid dogs again.
Something I want to talk about is I'm on my way home from work the other day. What is this, Friday, Harley, I think?
Yeah, I think it was Friday.
On my way home, and I'm sitting in traffic, so I'm like, you know what? I'll shoot Too Tall a text. I send Too Tall a text. I'm like, man, does your boss just hate you? Like, what did you do to piss him off? He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, man, your entire team's gonna be in El Paso doing a damn stadium show, and Aaron Kane is driving and you're not. And he was like, dude, Monster Jam got it wrong. I'm driving. He's like, you gotta let the world know. So we are so flipping pumped to see Dave Too Tall Ofert driving Rockwell Red. He won't be driving Jurassic Tech, but this is his first ever stadium event for Monster Jam. This guy is gonna go absolutely off the flipping charts that weekend, y'all.
Dude, I'm excited to see him tear it up. I saw a lot of people commenting that they're excited to see him tear it up, finally getting out of the arenas, finally actually like showing what he's capable of in a stadium setting. I'm really curious to see how an entire 4-truck team is going to manage in a Monster Jam stadium event. That's going to be pretty crazy.
Hey, that's a good point. That is a very solid point. You got, an independent team bringing all their trucks, all their tools, all their resources to this one show, which honestly is not in a convenient location. El Paso is a tough spot to be in the world to do a monster truck show. Anyways, it's Monster Jam's first time returning there since first quarter 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Did they do a show? Did they get there in time? 2020?
I don't remember.
I don't know if they did.
2020.
And so anyways, it's been a
so.
while since Monster Jam has been back there. I'm glad they'll be putting on a show there. That's a great venue. That bowl down there, I don't know, such a cool place. But it's gonna be really hard for an independent team. We've seen the Garners; they've been capable of doing that before. I'm pretty sure Team Scream as well. But that's gonna be tough for them. They're gonna need all hands on deck down there for that show.
Dude, I know one person who's extremely excited to go, as our friend Mr. Cooper Knuckles, and going back to his little cave that he made on the side of the mountain there in El Paso.
They're all going to have their hands full. I mean, I'd be really surprised to see how that show turns out in general. But nonetheless, Too Tall, buddy, we're so pumped for you, man. It's to finally see you get out there, and we want to see you hit the backflip. We want to see you catch some big air and tear that truck up, represent Rockwell Red, make all your sponsors happy, make everybody happy back there, Team Throttle Monster. It's about damn time. Now, speaking of Rockwell Red, there is another face for that truck. Harley, why don't you go ahead and bring us in on that one?
Yeah, so we have, I know you're going to love this, Spence. One of the
No.
We have DC Dave is going to be driving the Rockwell Red truck this coming weekend. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, that's actually this. Oh, I didn't realize that.
This
Whoa.
Weekend. There's a lot happening this weekend.
Yeah, there is. Well, I'll tell you my initial thought on it is I love it. And I love it for two reasons. Well, I guess mainly one big reason. It's the fact that a celebrity driver that Monster Jam hired has got away from Monster Jam and they're able to do their own thing. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't see Diesel Dave return back to Monster Jam, because we've seen other Monster Jam drivers. Wow, that's a lot of Monster Jam I'm talking about over here. But Cole Eichelberger went and got in the independent world for a little while. Joe for Harper's team, and came back. So don't be surprised if you see the Brodozer guys come back and the Brocamino guys come back to MJ. Definitely a possibility.
Do you know
but
Too Tall's driving at this show, or is it Paul? Because it says Jurassic Attack's also going to be at this show.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's probably going to be Paul, just for the simple fact of Too Tall actually didn't even know anything about this whenever I asked him.
We see you, Spence. We see you.
What? Oh. Sorry. I'd rather just talk about something that's interesting. That's all.
Why are you hating?
I'm sorry. Just the whole celebrity persona. It's old. It's done. I don't care for it. I get more excited. I'm more excited about seeing Mike Wine get back in the truck than I am about some TV celebrity persona about diesel trucks on Discovery. I don't care. I want to see Mike Wine tear it up. The old geezer that'll trash talk Dennis Anderson.
Well, if we
over
had a
some
Throttle Out show Monster Truck and Diesel Dave reached out and said, "Hey, can I drive your truck for a weekend?" What would you say? Yes or no?
Shave your beard first.
This guy continues to surprise the hell out of me, man. I'm telling you.
Sorry. No.
Bad business.
I would I would. We have so much better options to have drive our truck over them anyway.
I'm not saying it was us going to him. I'm saying if he reached out to us and said, "Hey, you want to put,"
I'd rather see BJ drive blindfolded before putting Dave from Diesel Brothers in a truck that we own. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, enough of the hate train over here.
No.
Oh my
I see, and I was
gosh.
pumped. I was excited to see Diesel Dave get back into the swing of things, just for the simple fact that both he and Heavy D at the end of first quarter 2020 were actually, Harley, they were getting the hang of how to drive those trucks. They actually got basically enough seat time. They were dominating, and I mean dominating in the skills challenge, to the point of I'm be surprised if they bring back Colt Stevens or Cam McQueen to fill their shoes, because they were doing a good job. Hate to say it, Spence, but
are we talking about the same truck, same drivers? Because I don't know what you were saying. Because I'm sorry, we both know that truck had full spools all the way around, and basically you can pull yourself out of anything if you just hold your foot to the floor, as long as you don't turtle the truck. I'm sorry, there's no skill in what the Diesel Brothers do. It's all luck. It's all fandom.
Okay.
It's all just voting on your phone. Like, ooh, truck I've seen on TV, 10. No,
Okay,
they have no skill.
Speaking of Cam McQueen, did you see that he's coming back to Monster
Yes,
Truck?
yes, I did.
That's some good news, right, Spence?
Yeah, I'm happy about getting to see the Canadian come back, because I thought he was one of the few from Feld that were just done and over with. But no, that's awesome. Getting to see. Wait, is he actually driving Northern Nightmare again, or is it something else?
I believe it was Northern Nightmare.
Yeah, it should be Northern Nightmare. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. That'd be actually pretty awesome. So yeah, happy about that. But no, we can avoid TV BS. We got no place for that here.
So,
at least not for me.
Some news about some guy's Digger's Dungeon that he made.
Yes. So here at the Throttle Out Show, we've had a guy who's been supporting us, always liking, always commenting, always watching our streams, by the name of Eric Booth. If you follow him on Instagram, I believe it's like Death Ride X, I think maybe on Instagram. But what a solid guy. Send us some pictures of his garage, what he calls the Digger Dungeon Bar and Grill. And check this out, Spence. If you are a great,
oh my gosh,
you are going to love this setup. This guy went all out, was not shy at all about doing whatever it takes to make this thing look like, it came straight out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Harley's going to keep pulling up these pictures. I mean, just all the stuff this guy went through hell and back to get. I mean, I'm absolutely impressed. I see a damn connecting rod there on the wall, Spence. This guy went all out.
Look at that.
Dude, Eric, where are you at? We got the Throttle Out crew want to come have a beer with you. This is awesome.
I believe he's out in California, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it Riverside?
I don't know if it might be Riverside. I don't know.
Did I see that right?
That is awesome. Well, I know what I'm going to do to my garage when I get one.
Oh, there's his Instagram, Death Ride XX.
Hold on, I'm going to follow him right now. Give me 1 second.
And yeah, and Eric, where are you from? Out there near LA area? I saw you commented on our Hoonigan, or not our Hoonigan, but the Hoonigan video.
Oh, I was right. It was Riverside.
Nice. Yeah, Riverside's
there we go. Oh, and he's a trucker. Thank you for doing what you do, man.
Yes, sir.
Truckers don't get enough appreciation as much as they do, and we know truckers are a huge part of this industry.
Absolutely.
I'm just glad he chose the right truck, because I don't see anything that cool coming from like the Max D crew.
Hey, Jeffrey Magovich, our second overall giveaway winner. We had the Bigfoot giveaway. Jeffrey Magovich might be one of the biggest Bigfoot fans I've ever met in my entire life. And yes, now it is up to you to get a Bigfoot bar. And that would actually fit you very well. I could see you coming up with something like that, good buddy. So I'm ready. Whatever I got to do to help you make that happen, we'll pitch in and we'll get you a Bigfoot bar and grill. Yes, sir.
Oh man, dude, the dedication through just the fan side of this community just amazes me, with the amount of dedication that and things that people do. Like I've always been impressed with some of the things people do with RC trucks and how detailed they get. But going outside of like the RC trucks, you see like the artwork, you see people literally renovating their garage to be like the ultimate gravedigger hangout. Like that is awesome. Absolutely impressive.
Let's change topics a little bit. So I'm finding out a little bit more about our fan base and who follows us here at the Throttle Out Show. I've been putting out some posts the last few days on our social media, and I've been learning more about the people who like to hang out with us and support us. So the first thing I noticed is, I believe it was Friday, put out a video of Son of a Digger burning it down at the Hoonigan place there in California. People loved it. People love that. And that's not, obviously it's not our content. It's Hoonigan's video that Monster Jam let Son of a Digger go out and participate in. And it was awesome. One of the best videos to ever happen to the freaking internet. Absolutely loved it. The very next day, we at the Throttle Out Show posted a video, a little highlight clip of Todd LeDuc doing all his big jumps. And almost immediately, all these people who were sharing the Gravedigger stuff were just bashing, just straight talking trash. Like, it's not that hard to hit a ramp wide open. Yeah, everything that he did, anybody else can do. And it's like, damn.
You might have learned, if you're a super fan of Gravedigger, you're probably not a fan of Todd LeDuc. So
why? They're both a black and green wrecking machine.
I mean, I was also kind of blown away. I was like, man, this would be another good video of people to get behind. And it was like, wow, they didn't appreciate that like hardly at all. Like, don't get me wrong, it still got a lot of likes, but got a lot of dislikes as well. I was really shocked, Spence.
I appreciate that Tristan England not only loved my comment, but he followed me after I said it. I did hashtag stop simping for LeDuc. That actually got a lot of likes. I'm surprised. I'm just saying, man, like, I don't get me wrong, I got nothing against LeDuc, but dude, this relationship you have is a little stalker-ish at this point.
It's more than just a friendship. It's
like, I'm almost worried to the point that you're gonna go back to Florida, meet up with BJ, and you want a mural of Todd LeDuc's face like on your chest somewhere. I don't want that for you. You're getting married. I want you guys to live a happy long life together. Let him go, man. Like, it's not worth it. There's way better drivers out there.
I don't know what y'all are talking about, okay?
This man is sick, Harley. I'm so sorry.
What? Oh, I didn't mean that. No.
Okay.
Look, okay, I agreed when I said yes to marrying you that, your obsession with Todd would come with that. So it's fine.
Look, I've never denied my obsession for Todd.
No, he's never denied it.
No, it's out there. It's clear. We can clearly see it plain as day.
Oh, look at this hashtag, bring Damon Bradshaw back.
Austin is crazy. This guy just loves to call me out. He did that the last episode as well.
I'm guessing he's talking about this Austin, right?
Well, you don't have our name tags up, so
or is it this Austin?
I'm pretty sure it's this one.
It's probably this one.
Yeah. Just saying. I'm normal-ish. I think I just heard my wife laughing in the next room.
Stick with Bryce Kenny, lol.
Stick with Bryce Kenny. Oh man.
Todd,
speaking of Bryce Kenny, we haven't seen Bryce Kenny, I feel like, in a show in a while. Is it just me?
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't heard much from Bryce Kenny in shows.
I can't remember. Did his wife recently get pregnant, or is that Morgan Kane? I can't remember.
No, they had a baby here, I think this year, but I mean, that's been a little while now.
Oh, look at this. Damon Bradshaw.
Oh.
Over Todd LeDuc.
Oh. Oof.
Oh, man.
I'm convinced Austin has a secret Todd LeDuc shrine.
Hey, Zeus, I love you. Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. LeDuc fans are like cults. He definitely has a loyal fan base.
Yeah, no joke. I mean, I'm just saying, you want to bring Damon Bradshaw back. I mean, let's talk about all of Damon Bradshaw's World Finals championships versus LeDuc's World Finals championships. Oh, wait. Oh, damn it.
Oh, Cody Saucier over Todd.
Yes, Nate Bay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
The haters.
Oh, whatever.
It was difficult getting behind LeDuc after he made Metal Militia his identity.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can see that. I mean, that would be almost like, hopping from Ford to Chevy, Metal Militia being that rock star sponsorship going to, Monster. I get that. Okay. Makes sense.
David Bradshaw at least knew how to throw down.
What?
Well, I mean, yeah, Damon Bradshaw had a very unique driving style. Damon Bradshaw's downfall, which is Todd LeDuc's benefit, is Damon Bradshaw was kind of an asshole. Todd LeDuc, you can't be mad at Todd LeDuc. Todd LeDuc is Todd.
I kind
Todd
of agree
is
with
Todd.
Lindsay's comment right here.
But Zimmer, Todd in person, hands down, Todd 100%. Yeah, exactly. Todd is a super awesome guy, like face to face.
Todd is actually really cool with fans. Okay, fans with different types of personalities and backgrounds. He's a really good guy. So I mean, I like somebody else thinks that's well. Besides me, obviously, I think the world of the guy.
Honestly, if there's anything, if I could put this out there, I would love if we here at the Throttle Out Show could actually go race side by sides with Todd one weekend. I'd love to do that because, well, one, I don't even know if I fit in a side by side, so I might have to sit and watch. But regardless, yes, he is pretty badass. Even hey, Denver actually got a YouTube account, so you can actually comment. Not on Facebook now. I love it. I don't think there's YouTube yet, so it's not. I saw Dave Reif commented saying that he's super excited to have Mike Wine at the show. Now we just need me to help. I'll be there, boss man. Don't you worry. I plan on being there in Hudsonville.
I wonder what he's thinking if he saw this.
He's probably laughing. Honestly, he's such a good. He's a really nice guy.
This comment out. I love this. I'm tired of you, Austin, talking about Todd.
See, someone else understands.
I'm sorry. If you watch Throttle Out Show, you're going to hear about Todd LeDuc at some point during the show. Look at this.
Yeah.
That comment up.
What's
This is my 376 social media account.
Oh man.
Just don't go in YouTube jail.
I don't think you can. Can you?
I don't think you can, but you never know. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess as long as you don't Austin sus. Yeah, he is. He is Joseph. Oh man.
All right. I'm sorry.
You're the one that has to explain yourself.
I'm sure you've probably heard enough of this.
So, anyways, I'm learning a lot about our fan base, right? If you are a huge avid Gravedigger fan, or you worked on the Gravedigger trucks, you're from North Carolina, you are not going to be a Monster Energy Todd LeDuc fan, not in the least bit. Okay, so I learned that. I also learned that there are a lot of people that think that Joey Sylvester's long jump should almost be divided into two different categories between Bigfoot's long jump. Spence, Harley, what do y'all think about that?
You know, honestly, it's hard to say, okay, because both jump. I don't want to take any credit away from either jump. Yeah. Both of them is a crazy distance. I mean, we listened to Joe talk about his jump and the injuries and everything he had to overcome before even hopping back in the truck, fixing the truck, and trying to break it again. So he's a badass in his own for doing that. But in the same sense, a lot of people make a good argument where Dan Runte hit his jump, and it was like not a giant, takeoff ramp like what Joe had. Yeah. It was a very small, jump. So, it's hard to say. Like, there's not really anything in the rules as far as the world record goes that the ramp can only be a specific size in order to break it. I do see where a lot of people are coming from, because it looked like the ramp that was made for Runte was like the size of like essentially a crush car, while I don't really even know how high that jump was that Joe Sylvester had. But regardless, they're both impressive. It's all based on distance.
Harley, what do you think?
I mean, I could see how it could be separated into two separate categories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure.
All I know is I feel like Joey Sylvester, okay, even with his long jump, does not get enough credit for what he did to put all that on, okay? It takes a lot of money to be involved in putting on an event such as that.
When he came on the show, just hearing how much damage the truck went through and his body went through, just testing it, right? Not even doing the record jump yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
But even the event itself, I mean, just the money that you got to pour in to make something like that happen, and getting Guinness to come out there and do all that. Guinness doesn't do all that crap for free. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but they don't just Guinness, we're going to have a record setting session out here. Just go ahead and fly yourselves out here. No, like you pay for all that crap. So
here's the thing, because this is why I don't like the whole recorder deal, because yes, the long jump is impressive and yeah. Here's the one that gets me, is that in the record book, Kristen Anderson holds the record for a high jump, like tallest or highest a monster truck has ever gone. There's literally footage of Jim Kohler at Wildwood in a sand beach show getting well over 50, 60 feet of air.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anyone deserves that record, it's Jim Kohler, not an Anderson. I'm sorry. Yes.
They didn't have a Guinness person out there to record it. So
right.
It's not going to
Right. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry about the dogs, guys.
It's okay. We can barely.
You're fine. You're going to piss off Bucky, though, because he's sitting here complimenting us that we're doing a good job, and you got dogs just going to town over there. Bucky, thank you so much for watching, good buddy. I miss you. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say, whenever we had show, because depending on who put on the show, kind of determines, or who was in charge of the crew guys, kind of determine how well the show's gonna go for the crew guys this weekend. Like who's gonna actually help out. Whenever Bucky was there helping all the crew guys out, oh my gosh, weekend went by so much better. I'm not gonna throw any names out there as to who I didn't like working with, but whatever is Bucky, I was like, yes. Just huge weight off our shoulders, even though most of the time everything was broken, absolutely messed up, but still tons of fun. Bucky, I hope you're doing great.
Coming in clutch again with another good comment. That was shocking about the whole record-setting event that Monster Jam did down there in Florida. Why would you have LeDuc do the whole forward momentum, double front flip, back flip, whatever thing that he did, and not do a long jump? I've known Todd for years has been wanting to do a long jump. So, yes, I was absolutely surprised at that. We know, Todd, being known for what he's, basically doing best, which is catching in there. I'm surprised he didn't do a long jump. Y'all, what do y'all think down there in the comments section?
I honestly, if Monster Jam wanted to go for a record that actually meant something in the monster truck industry, it would be the long jump, because you had Bigfoot 747 jump that they did forever ago. That was original record setting. And then Joey Sylvester came back and beat it. Then Dan Runte, then Joey Sylvester came back. Like that has been a constant back and forth like record that people have been wanting to hold. And Monster Jam just kind of ignored it. Like they just wanted nothing to do with it. There's plenty of land out there where they were doing the record, the Guinness shoot. They could have totally done something like that.
Oh, no doubt. Now, while I'm thinking about it, for y'all who are watching, thank you so much for everybody who's been with us throughout the beginning of this journey and supporting us. Go to www.thethrottleoutshow.com and check out all the sweet merch that we got now. We got more designs along the way. Spence, thank you so much for coming together and getting us these awesome graphics. Like this right here was handmade by Austin Spence. The graphic I've got here on a hat, this is a trucker hat. You can get in a couple of different colors. Now back to what we were talking about. Yes, the world record thing that Monster Jam did, it was kind of cheesy. Okay, watching that on the Discovery Channel, it was definitely a show. It was almost like it had nothing to do with the world record stuff. Yeah. Somebody that we absolutely love to death here at the Throttle Out Show was Bryce Kenny. I'm grateful he was able to set that record for, the fastest a monster truck could go. However, that was weird to me. Okay. And don't get me wrong. It's like, okay, you do what you got to do to a truck to make it go fast. Okay. Whatever. Is it not weird though, that you can't find a nice clean clip of that truck just going down the straightaway? It's some like camera angle way back off in the distance. It's following the truck. It's like, and the clip is not real. It's not a real time. It's like they sped up the clip. I'm not denying that, he didn't break the world record. I'm not even saying that at all, but
we would have just liked to see like one clip of that one pass.
Nice clip.
Rather than keep cutting his pass and making it just look weird.
I think what they did, they took a playbook play out of the Street Outlaws guys playbook, where basically they make a 7-second race look like it took 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
I mean, all we needed to see was Bryce Kenny shifting like 20 times on a 2-speed power glide.
If they would have had somebody out with an iPhone just recording the damn thing, just one quick video of that, I would have been a believer. I would have been sold. So I hate that Bryce Kenny's been put in that spot of people like, oh, well, he customized the truck. He did this and that. I'm like, look, honestly, I don't care. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset about the fact that some cheesy angle of the truck going down the track, the video sped up. It's not clean footage. That's what I'm not crazy about. I'm not sold on that.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the nastiest motors, like I should say nastiest drivetrain there is in monster trucks right now, like who has like a really nasty motor, it's the guys with Hemis. And I'm talking about Samson and I'm talking about the Hall brothers. I'm sorry, but they really had to gear the hell out of one of those Feld trucks with a 540 Merlin, because I think if the Hall brothers really want to go after it, I think they'd be able to wax that record no problem. And I think if Dan Patrick really wanted to go after it, he'd be able to do the same thing too. And just seeing the way they had to really set the truck up, kind of lower it, get all the air out of the shocks, trying to make a monster truck as aerodynamic as you can on a drag strip. It. I don't know. I think there is more. You have to have a powerful power plant in order to really make it do what it needed to do. And I don't think Monster Jam's going to hold on to that record long. I think if Hall Brothers or PEI gets hungry to go after it, they'll be able to stomp it 100%. I will put money that record will be beat at around 105 to 110 miles an hour.
Damn.
And a Hemi.
That's a huge difference, y'all. Just so you know, because that record wouldn't. I mean, what is the record? I say unofficially. What is the record right now? Does anybody know down there in the comment section?
It's barely 100 miles an hour.
Okay,
like they wanted the whole like. They wanted the whole like first monster truck to reach 3 digits, 100 miles an hour, which is great and all, but it's not impressive. I'm sorry, but anybody that's a huge drag racing fan, seeing something hit 100 miles an hour in a quarter mile is pathetic.
I know with the Bigfoot team, they got into ADRL, American
100.34
American Drag Racing League a few years ago, back around 2009, 2010. I was actually able to be a part of all that. I think for like a day, my dad held the world record for fastest time in a monster truck. And then Dan Runde came back, I think either later that day or the next day, and then took that. And then obviously somebody else took it after that. But my point is they were tinkering with stuff back then. I'm surprised that even the Hall brothers held it for as long as they have. So I see Hall brothers coming back. Like I said, there's so much that goes on, and to put it on an event, such as that, you got to have the right area. You got to have the, right sponsorship, put that on. I definitely see Hall brothers coming back and taking that. But you were talking about the long jump competition with Joey Sylvester. I still think Joey does not get enough credit for what he's doing in the monster truck world, putting on his shows, running the coffee shop, basically being a self-sponsored entity. I mean, the guy is absolutely killing it right now. Spence, aren't you going to his Canfield show here in a few weeks?
I am actually, and I'm not sure what exactly I may or may not be doing, but he actually messaged me saying he might need some help. So I'm not saying I'm going to be working on Bad Habit. I'll probably just be kind of helping out around as far as like track crew and stuff like that. Maybe we'll see. Regardless, I want to go. So I actually want to bring this up. But 2 of my really good friends are actually just started at UNOH down in Lima, Ohio. My good friend Jake Lobel and my good friend Mike Bev. Mike has actually been kind of like one of those random friends that popped up when I was touring with Monster Jam. He was still in high school and everything. We just kind of talked back and forth. We had a connection through video games and obviously monster trucks, and we've been really close. So seeing those guys basically kind of get inspired to go to UNOH, and they want to pursue a career in high performance and motorsports, and they're kind of wanting to do the same thing I did, where they want to get their feet wet. They want to not only get an education in working on trucks and motorsports, but they want to get their hands dirty and volunteer with the independents, because they're from the Northeast. So there is a lot of stuff up there in Maryland, but not nearly as much that's going on here in the Midwest with Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, the jamborees, even Pennsylvania. So you got the jamborees, you got ATR in Michigan. I mean, there's always something going on. And then Canfield, Ohio, the biggest show for the outlaw monster truck drags. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this. So super excited about it. Hopefully I'll be able to take them to a couple of shows and kind of show them my ropes a little bit, but we'll see.
Now, Spence, we're going to change topics real quick because it looks like you are definitely in the hot seat with Grandma Linda right now. She wants to know where her damn stickers are at, man. Are they coming by the Pony Express or what, brah? Answer yourself.
Okay. Listen, Grandma Linda, I'm very sorry. I literally just got back from vacation up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. That's the other half up here that has literally all forests and no Wi-Fi whatsoever. So I am going to send them out to you. I'm running really low on stickers, but me and Tweety and Harley have been talking. We're actually going to have more stickers available actually on our website, so I don't have to just give people stickers when I go to shows. Like that's not going to be the only way you can get stickers from us. So we're just trying to find a really good distributor, but I got a couple special ones in mind for you. Don't worry. I literally just got back. I got to fire up my sticker machine, and I'll be sure to get some stuff to you. Don't worry.
So, like y'all have been paying, if you've been keeping up with our social media recently, you saw that we got a TikTok, you know, we post a lot on Instagram and Facebook, but y'all have seen what I've been posting the last few days. And yes, that is me. There is 3 people on that account. But yes, that's me posting that stuff the last few days because I'm curious. What do y'all want to see more of? What do you want to see us get more in depth with? Do you want to see us go behind the scenes and break down what's going on with stuff like the Hoonigan event or the long jump stuff or the high jump stuff? What would y'all like to see us really talk about and break down and give our 2 cents on? And before I get too carried away, Four Wheeler Jock has got a question on there. If you guys had the chance to run any motor, being big block Ford, Chevy, or Hemi, which would it be? Why? I'm going to go first on this one, Spence, and y'all are going to be really surprised at my answer at this. Okay. If I am providing an engine out of my own pocket and I'm building this truck to go out and just freestyle with, I'm building this truck to go out and do stupid stuff with, I'm not building it straight for horsepower, I'm actually going to go with a big block Chevy, and that's going to break all Spence's little heart. But listen to me. Listen.
If you had your way about it, you'd choose that.
Let me defend myself. Yes, I would choose that because big block Chevy, the big block Chevy, which doesn't really exist, a Merlin block or whatnot, so much cheaper to work on. You can buy parts that.
What if you had all the money in the world?
Oh, then I'd probably get a Hemi. Honestly, yeah. I had all the money in the world that was just disposable. Sure, that's different. But I'm saying if we're being realistic, if we're living in the real world and I have the opportunity to build my own monster truck, I'm just saying that I'm probably going to have to go with that. I'm not going to have the money to keep dishing out for those big block Fords and the Hemis. Don't get me wrong. They make badass power, but you have a lot more issues and there are a lot of maintenance required.
Well, if I had all the money in the world, I would choose a Hemi, which all the money we're going to be making from Proto Out, we're going to have a Hemi in it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay. Well, give me one sec.
What's your which one would you pick?
Okay. I'm sorry. I needed a good couple glugs after that comment, Harley. My God.
I didn't like that.
No, that made me worried. Anyway, if we're talking like just out of my own pocket, yes, Tweety is absolutely right. Big block Chevy, and that's because if you look at the aftermarket side of everything, building anything that is from GM is cheaper because there's so many places that have made stuff that is specifically for GM, and there's a lot of stuff that can kind of cross over from other types of big blocks over to another big block, aluminum heads, cast iron heads, even Hemi heads for big block Chevy. But again, it's like one of those things where it's like dollar for dollar, you want to go with a Chevy. Part for part, you want to go with a Ford. And if I had all the money in the world, in all honesty, if I had all the money in the world to where I didn't have to worry about a damn thing, I'd try out all 3 just because.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
But I am widely impressed with the Hemis from Samson because that truck has waxed many drivers over this summer. And whether it was Cody Saucier driving Samson and I was over at the one throwdown show, or if it's Tricky Ricky, regardless, that truck is bad and it's awesome. The thing with the Hall brothers, no, I'm not bashing on the Hall brothers, but I haven't really seen them a whole heck of a lot in like competition form, but they have a badass motor in those trucks. I mean, if you guys are curious, you could buy like 2 or 3 brand new Ram 1500s with the price it takes to build one of those motors. It's crazy, ridiculous, and they make stupid power. Like, there's some announcers that kind of joke about how much power these trucks make. I think the Hall brothers are one of the very few that actually put out well over 2,000 horsepower. You might need to quote me on. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure those Keith Black Hemis make well over 2,000 horsepower. So
now,
really quiet.
Sorry, I think we were both reading comments.
Yeah, we're reading comments. Y'all are being very, very active right now. I will say, Spence, while we've been sitting here chatting, I got a picture from Taylor Andes. And Taylor, I don't know.
You're gonna love this.
I don't know if this is supposed to go out, Taylor, but we're putting this out there. Taylor made this. It's no coincidence. I'm wearing a maroon colored shirt. Harley, go ahead and put it up. Or what do y'all think about this?
I love it.
Oh my god!
Please comment if you love this logo right here.
Taylor,
if you want to see it on the shirt.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
We could totally make that happen.
We can.
That's
Where's our Dr. Pepper fans at? I know there's a ton of them out here.
All your Dr. Pepper fans are basically gonna come straight out of the South. If we're being honest, we got these sweet tooths down here, so we love Dr. Pepper, and obviously, love that. That warms my heart. I want that on a shirt right now.
I think it goes without saying we're gonna put it on the website, but don't you worry. We got some pretty cool stuff coming at you guys relatively soon, but we got to put that up, Tweety. We got to make that a thing.
I think y'all might be seeing that coming out next quarter for sure. Jimmy C, you'll get your Throttle Pepper shirt. Good buddy.
Throttle Pepper. Oh my gosh, is that what we're calling it?
Throttle Pepper. Oh man.
Throttle Pepper. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, we are right at an hour. Is there anything you'd like to bring up tonight?
Somebody scroll back in the comments real quick.
There's a lot of comments.
Here's a controversial question.
Yeah, which one?
Real quick. We'll do this as the last controversial question for the evening. Should a driver crew on a truck at least a minimum of 2 years prior to getting behind a truck? Excellent question. Great question. Spence, I'll let you answer that one.
I would have to agree. And I know a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people. I know there's some people that will say, well, no, because anybody could be trained to drive a truck. That's right. And literally anybody here, and I'm talking literally anyone in the comment section, could be taught to drive literally anything. It's one thing to know how to drive something. It's another to know how to diagnose and know what may or may not be broken. And even though it may not seem like it to some of you guys, there's really not a whole lot of parts that goes into a monster truck. They're just big and expensive. So I think drivers like Brandon Vincent, the Andersons, and some of these guys that actually have a background in crewing have a better understanding what is going on with a truck when something like when they're driving. Like Bernard, we just saw with Bernard Light, Planetary locked up into the wall. If it was someone like BJ Johnson, I don't think he would have hit the wall, because he has that background of wrenching and crewing and working on trucks and building them and fixing them to where he has the know-how, like, oh, this is broken, I should stop before I let anything go, whatever. I'd rather save the truck, save damage, rather than going into a building and causing damage. So, and they have that type of common sense where it makes more sense to save the truck, don't worry about going to the next round, don't worry about points or the championship or overall or whatever, save the truck, get to the pits, fix the problem, go out, and you get him again in the next element. And a lot of these young drivers, unfortunately, don't have that. I've seen it with some of the arena guys. I've seen it with the stadium guys where they're like, oh, it stopped doing this. Well, what do you think it is? Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's not turning. Oh, what do you mean it's not turning? Well, I don't know. It's like,
what do you think about that? What's your response to that?
I mean, I definitely agree with Spence. I think, the longer you crew on a truck, the more you'll understand the truck when you get behind the wheel of it. Like Spence was saying, a lot of these new drivers in arenas not really knowing what's wrong with their truck. So crew guys are like, well, I don't know really where to start if you don't know what's wrong with the truck.
I like Josh Eccles' comment. It kind of leads me into my point, but everyone that works on a truck loves to hear, oh, there's a vibration, but I don't know where it's coming from. In 2000, was it late? I'm trying to think now. It was late 2018. I'm in South America, crewing for, what's his face? Alex Blackwell. Alex Blackwell is driving Pirate's Curse, and he's one of the last trucks to go out, and Feld's already chiming on my headset, hey, tell Alex he's got to backflip that truck. He's got to backflip that truck. The show needs it. Alex Blackwell is one of these guys who go out and put that flipping truck on a dime if he really wants to. He can do that. He has that talent in him, years of experience working on the trucks, and he goes out, he makes a few jumps, and then the damn rear tie bar just snaps in half on the back of the truck in one of his jumps that he made. It was just a weak point on the truck. It just ripped right out of the bung itself on the tie bar. So I try making it on the headset. I was like, hey, don't backflip the truck. Just do what you can with that truck. And he filled his time. And he broke that sucker in like 15 seconds. Like I said, it was like the second or third hit into his freestyle. Was able to fill his time. And I know with any other driver out there, they would have been out there. He or she would have just been lost, right? Trying to do something. It would have been ugly. He still put together a great freestyle. So yes, we definitely think that helps. I mean, these guys who come in, they've got racing backgrounds. Yes, that definitely helps too. But being able to throw wrenches at a truck, understand what's going on here with this piece, with that part, absolutely.
I mean, hell, I remember hearing stories when we would actually hang out at the Johnson's house for bonfires, and Ken Doug talking about when he was crewing with Zimmer, old Zimmer, and how he would feel a vibration in the truck and would be like, "Hey, check this on the headset," and it's like he would instantly know what it was. That comes with knowing what you're doing for years and years of experience. Like that helps out a ton in keeping everything going, rather than, oh yeah, well, it's a monster truck. It's supposed to vibrate. It could be anything. It's no big deal. And well, now we no longer have torque converter bolts that are attached to the flywheel. Denver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, but it just comes with experience. It comes with the territory. So yeah, like Bucky Foltz, Mr. Like, who would be in charge of the crew guys, knows where we're coming from. You should know how to work on the trucks before you get to drive a truck. Unfortunately, the fellow demographic, guess what? If you have a hell of a following on Instagram and you look pretty enough to pose in front of a camera, guess what? You can drive a monster truck. If you look like me and got scraggly beard and you're big and fat and look like you haven't seen your gym in the past 5 years, grab a wrench.
Well, we're going to wrap up that controversial topic. We are going to bring light to a completely different subject. Harley, I kind of want you to bring us in on what's going on here, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Oh, can you bring us in? Because I think you know more about it than I do.
Do you know just as much as I do?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'll bring up this comment here saying, "Hey guys, please keep Dave Tucker with T-Max in your thoughts and prayers after his bad accident." I don't know exactly what happened in the accident. I just know basically everything I think was totaled. Everyone was injured, so just keep everyone in your prayers and thoughts tonight.
Now, I am friends with Dave on Facebook. He is actually okay. He got out of the hospital. He is like walking everything now. I believe there is actually a GoFundMe for the tow bill to help them out. I believe it was around $5,000 to actually recover the truck, the hauler, and everything else. So if you guys have any extra changes to kind of help them out, it's somewhere out there on Dave's Facebook page, or someone shared it and collecting. I can't exactly remember, but helping someone out that had something like this happen, it mean the world to them, because this was a freak accident that happened. It was scary. I was terrified when I saw it, because you never know what's going to happen. And honestly, like seeing some of those roads out there in California, I mean, I've only been around there for like a couple months, so I don't really know them all too well, but it looked really ragged and jagged. So I'm glad that everyone came out alive. Everyone was okay. But if you guys have a chance to help them out any way you can, we highly recommend it.
Absolutely. We've got a lot to be thankful for, with this. And I think something else to kind of end this on a positive note is, look, when something happens to one of us in the monster truck community, we are so close together that we all get in the trenches and we help each other to get, ourselves back out of that trench. So we're all in this together. Whatever we can do to help that team out, y'all just let us know. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Please support the Throttle Out Show, www.throttleoutshow.com. Go to Vixen Industries, get 15% off with what code, Harley Joe?
With code Harley15 for 15% off.
Spence, it's good to have you back. But remember, y'all, when in doubt, throttle out. Peace out, y'all. Good night.